Joe Burrow sent the Kansas City Chiefs packing on Sunday in his second come-from-behind victory in 2 games in the playoffs to advance to the Super Bowl in his second year in the NFL.
Joe Shiesty.
Is it time to anoint Joe Burrow?
I definitely have to agree because I don't think anybody thought this year with the offensive line that Cincinnati had built, with the way Joe Burrow was coming off. Some say it wasn't as horrible of an injury as, it looked out to be. Joe kind of recovered at a decent pace and was able to rehab and get out there. But the fact that Joe Burrow was, without question, in my opinion, a top 10 quarterback this year, his first full year as a starter, he not only makes the playoffs, he wins his division with potentially the toughest defensive division in football right now. Obviously reunited with his wide receiver, Jamar Chase, goes on to win multiple playoff games, wins his first ever conference championship game. You just mentioned it, Fees. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks so far, 2 comeback victories, and in his second year in the NFL, he is in the Super Bowl with a very, very good chance at joining an elite class in the NFL right now. And I'll say it again, Joe Burrow, his entire career. So, Ohio State, no love. Let me go to LSU. A little bit of success there. Next year, I personally thought it was just the right guy in the right place. We see dominant college football teams, and maybe the quarterback doesn't pan out, but he has an insane season. Heisman winner, #1 overall pick, everything I just mentioned in the NFL this year. Now he's in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's story is absolutely insane, and I love to see what he does, man. He's playing with great size. He's playing with great poise. He is unable to be rattled, and I think he is going to give Stafford and the Rams one hell of a run in the Super Bowl this year. I couldn't be prouder of Joe Burrow, man. He has honestly proven me wrong in every single aspect that I doubted him in. Hats off to Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think Joe was going to do what he did in college. Ended up having the greatest football season for a quarterback in college ever. 15-0.
Landslide
won a
Heisman
national
winner.
championship. Beat every team it was to beat. They beat the elite Alabama teams. They ran through Clemson. I mean, they beat everybody. Then he came into the NFL, and he acted like it's still college. They brought his homie back with him, Jamar Chase. He's grittying all over the city every single game. They cannot stop him. Joe Burrow, with all types of adversity, like everybody hitting him in his mouth, sacked 9 times in one game, still wins the game, still has crazy numbers in that same game. I mean, this dude doesn't get rattled. You sack him time and time again, he's still delivering dimes.
Yep.
Like there's really nothing that you can do to him.
Yep.
Like I don't have anything bad to say about Joe. The dude threw he had 70% completion percentage with all of that pressure. I mean, we thought the Cincinnati Bengals were stupid for not drafting Penei Sewell coming in to protect him. They got him a wide receiver, and his wide receiver more than likely is going to be offensive rookie of the year.
100%.
And Joe Burrow is absolutely an MVP candidate throwing to his rookie of the year wide receiver. So it's like, hey, Joe Burrow, anoint him. I'll stamp it. I picked them to win against the Kansas City Chiefs. They did it. You saw the video. I told you to book it. It is what it is. That man is like, he's here. So we can't scoff at this guy. So now, if we look at the other side of the football in the AFC Championship game, do the Kansas City Chiefs need to make some adjustments to their roster? Or should they just go ahead and just stand pat, keep doing what they're doing, wait on Pat Mahomes to deliver?
I think they have to stand pat. And now there's always room for a roster to improve every NFL season. They could use some work on the defensive side of the ball. The secondary and sometimes, the rush defense doesn't necessarily always step up to the plate. I think the offense is absolutely fine, though. I would like to see them incorporate Mecole Hardman more because I still don't understand, with him being one of the fastest receivers in the league, why he is not incorporated more into that offense next to a Tyreek Hill, next to a Travis, guys that have immense speed out there in the NFL. I mean, McKinnon Manning came in. Obviously Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been able to produce when he's been able to and healthy. But, we know who Patrick Mahomes is. Now, we have seen, of course, twice in his career where he's just kind of went cold, maybe for a month and a half. The mechanics might be off. The decision-making slips. But, that's not really a surprise because if you watched Mahomes in college, he had those reckless traits. He had those times where he would just go from bad to worse in what felt like a blink of an eye, and that's kind of not a whole lot, but that's kind of the same thing you're seeing in these little spurts in the NFL. And we know Mahomes can correct it. He's done it twice. He's going to do it again, of course. But I don't think that Kansas City truly needs any changes right now with their team. Like I said, the defensive side of the ball, because that has been a little bit of a heel. Now, the year that they did go to the Super Bowl after, the year with the Niners, they actually were able to come around. Mahomes was actually becoming a little surgical. The defense was actually trying to, overall just play better and be more around Mahomes so he didn't have to be out there throwing potentially 40, 50, 55 times a game. So I don't think any major changes. Just really focus on the defensive side of the football and please incorporate Mecole Hardman more in that offense. There's no reason why he shouldn't be. That guy's a solid, at least wide receiver 3 on someone else's team. Make him that solid role. Give it to him. I respect Pringle, but I love Mecole as well.
As far as what they have going on offense, I don't think the Chiefs need to do anything. Pat Mahomes, he's Pat. If I was to say anything derogatory, then you would call me a hater, and I would absolutely be that, and I'm not going to do that. Pat Mahomes is that dude. He is, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, top 3, easily. But as far as what the Kansas City Chiefs need to do, they need to actually focus on the defense because they're about to enter a realm where the salary cap is going to be their worst enemy. They need to work on defense. Pat Mahomes' weapons are not going to stay there, and the team is going to be increasingly reliant upon Pat making plays. He's not going to keep on being able to do that to win games, especially when we start talking about January games. Because nobody cares what you do in the regular season. When you win in January, that's when we notice you. That's when you make a name. That's where Joe Burrow has made his name. Pat Mahomes has been that guy. He's been to 4 straight AFC Championship games, but just 2 Super Bowl appearances and only 1 win. And, you look at me like, oh, only 1. Yes, I say only 1 because the standard is the standard because that's what I talk about. I'm a Patriots fan. If you don't win, I don't give a damn what you've done. You have to win. If you want to be put on that, I'm going to call you the GOAT type status, you have to keep winning. 1 is not enough. And with the Kansas City Chiefs, they have to they really need to focus on the defense. Otherwise, they're in danger of becoming the Green Bay Packers. 2010, won the Super Bowl. 2011, 15-1, lost in the playoffs. 2012 to current, best you could do was an NFC Championship game loss. Yep. Didn't I tell you the Kansas City Chiefs would not make their way back to a Super Bowl for 5 years?
You did state that.
They're the goddamn Green Bay Packers, and I stand on it. The Chiefs aren't making it back. They're going to be the same team as the Green Bay Packers. Won't make it back. They'll always be right there on the cusp, but they won't get back.
Especially not melting down in the second half like that.
They won't get
Absolutely
back.
Horrible.
Nope. Won't get back. Can't do it. Not standing for it.